What's up to everybody? Welcome to Fawk 40 Talk. Got your man here, No Borders, Wolf Lazama, and Platform 246, Ryan and Lawrence. How's everybody doing tonight, brother? Y'all doing?
Great. Have a blast.
So. If I'm being honest, yeah. I was curious about the fuck it thing because you know how you get demonetized if you say whatever in the first seconds. I wonder if they would like try and crack the whip on us for saying fuck it, even though it's not the actual word.
Right. It's not the word, but YouTube, we love you, YouTube. We love you. Don't do us.
Yeah.
Now I've heard conflicting reports, brothers. I've heard 30 seconds. I've heard 8 seconds. If comments ever knows what the real deal is, we would appreciate that. But yeah, maybe I'll wait to give the name of the channel a little bit later into the stream going forward. But how's everybody tonight? And I got to tell you, Wolf, I'm the same, bro. If I had to be honest, I'm doing all right tonight. But I'm glad to be here with you, gentlemen. Let's get into it. Hello to everybody again. Happy Thursday. So what's going on, brothers?
No, you're right, man. YouTube always changes its thing too. But I'll get off track. I won't get off track too much there, but I'll let Ryan go because he was going to say something.
I was just asking what we were going to start with. YouTube always, once you figure it out, they switch. It's kind of like the grocery store aisles. You know what I mean? Once go exactly to where something is without even looking, they move it around.
Exactly
how they do it.
Supposed to be for the better, but it gets a little confusing.
What's up?
Allegedly, because there's
here.
What's up, Brian? Yeah, because the stuff they were changing was supposed to be.
Got you a hat there.
Yeah, I've been wearing this from like the very get-go of the channel. Brian was probably the first person that was consistent with me, and then he got David McNiner in my channel, and then everything started rolling from there, man. So those two guys, when it comes to my channel, have a pretty special place in my heart. Won't forget them when it comes to remembering supporters of my channel. And Brian didn't have to do this. Like, I didn't pay him. He just told me check the mail. And I was surprised with this hat, man. So it's always Brian's always been a GOAT for the Niner Gang Wolfcast.
He's been a GOAT for the whole community.
Yeah, man, straight up. I started seeing him all over the place. I started calling him a little 49er whore.
Is that Brian?
Yeah, I was just teasing him.
Yeah.
We are the Three Musketeers, and he is everywhere. He said everywhere.
He made David a hat. In fact,
where's mine? Where's ours?
Ooh, watch out!
Brian was telling me. We're talking about that Discord. Brian was telling me I better get my ass on there.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. We're just getting on Discord.
It's starting to come up. But if you look at it, like, it's a good way to keep in touch with the community. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you can have your own. It's like your own Twitter, essentially, in a server, and you don't have to talk about other things outside of anything other than what we're there to talk about. You know what I mean? You're not going to see anything else, and it's just, you go over. You could talk to somebody in the chat. You can watch film footage with them in the chat. You could just talk. We also got what are they called? They're called threads. So right now in the server, I've got a thread up who free agents 49ers should pick up or look into picking up. I got the right tackles with the list and all that, so you can go hit the thread, see the list of all the free agent right tackles, and you can now start talking about them underneath it. You know what I mean? It's lots of cool things. I think if we get the community over there, we can, not only talk with them, but we can help us make better content, because we'll know exactly what they want to talk about, because we've been in the chat with them talking about it all day. You know what I mean? So
makes a lot of sense.
You can highlight you can like when someone comes up with a good, let's say Brian Culp is like, hey, I think this is going to happen, and you're like, hey, I think this is a great idea. Bryant Culp came up with it in the Discord chat. You know what I mean? People can go back, see about where to do it, give them a thumbs up, or also have Bryant Culp emoji in our Discord channel. Where else can you get that?
Only right there.
We got it's Bryant
I
Culp's
haven't seen it
face. It's
yet,
just
or-
like yours. It's
It's your
just like
fuck
yours.
face. Whoa.
It's just his face. Bryant Culp hat and everything. It's Bryant Culp.
My guy called me Larry. What's happening, David? What's happening to Daniel Berry also in the comments?
We got
Boom.
David Villa in that Villa in the house. So we got that figured out last time. David
Ow!
Villa.
He says,
He said, "What up, my
oh,
amigo?"
no. What's
Ow.
up?
Ow.
There you-
That's way better than my last week. I just did that right there. That was
Oh,
just...
no.
I think David's back at me for saying his name wrong last week.
There you go.
Brian to B Ryan.
Oh, no.
It's all good though, David.
Am I still visible?
Yes, you are
Yeah.
still visible.
Yeah, you are.
Let's see. Everybody will get power pops, he says.
Amen, Roy.
Power Pops. That was the thing about Discord, man. One time me and David McNiner were on, and it wasn't too long ago, maybe about a month ago. And out of nowhere, we started getting a shitload of callers, and we're like, where are you guys coming in from? Like, what's going on? And they're like, yeah, somebody dropped your link on Discord. And so we started getting all these weird callers that didn't even know what the hell was going on, but they were still calling in for some reason. And like somebody, like they'd be talking, and then at the very end of it, they'd drop like the N-word or something like that. They're on some weird shit, man. So you got to be careful with that stuff too, man.
I had a weirdo the other night. He showed up with a mask on. I knew it was bad when I seen him. He had like those things, the baklava mask.
Or something.
You know the eyes. That's the only thing you could see. He had that with a black on and some sunglasses on, and you could only see half his side of his mouth. And I was like, oh, what's guy? And he's like, hello. Yeah. I'm like, what's up? He's like, do you jerk off? I was like, is that it, bro?
He's like, want to play a game?
Right?
Oh, no.
What?
Roy Estrada says, oh, shit.
Eagles flapping their lips. Is that the one you're looking
Shout
at?
out David Corona. Amen.
Oh, no, I think it was the one you had before. The one you had
the one I had
that.
before.
Yeah. Where are the Eagles talking smack after Niners gifting them the NFC chip? Don't matter, you won NFC, you lost Super Bowl. Yeah, I love that, man. I haven't gotten a chance to talk about it, the victory Monday and all that stuff. Little victory for 49er fans, at least for me. I know not all 49er fans feel that way, but for me, I was happy to see them crumble. It was hard because my brother-in-law actually bet like $500 on the game. I was like, bro, I don't want to root against you, against your money. And he's from DC, so that's the only reason he was taking Philly, because it's close to DC. And so he don't know nothing about football. I was like, why the hell didn't you fucking consult me about this, bro? You just went and bet 500 on Philly because you're from the area. That don't make no sense, but it is what it is. I mean, that's what's up, bro. And I was like, dude, I don't want to root against you and your money, but I got to. I can't stand the fucking Eagles right now. And that's saying something. So I felt bad for rooting against him and his money, but it felt good to get that dub for the Chiefs.
The Eagles are going to need one hell of a what do you call it? A smudging to get their bad spirits away from them. Yeah, they get the bad juju. They're
juju.
Goalie, not sage.
Perfect.
They're going to
Why?
need a lot of that to get some of their free agents back is what they're going to need.
Whole defense is
gosh.
gone.
Oh. Bro, fuck. Wolf, that show I was telling you about, Patrick is a Navajo. They were making a joke about natives and their and it was like they put the sweet grass up on the dash and that hurts.
Yeah.
I was dying, bro.
Oh no, bruh.
I was dying. I
Dude,
was dying.
that's for real, man. Oh my
And then they're
God.
talking about taking corners too fast and having the window down and the sweet grass go right out the
Bruh. I feel attacked. Oh shit.
You gotta
That's
watch
crazy.
that show. It's so damn good. So damn good.
I will.
Yeah.
Sorry, Larry. Go ahead, man.
Yeah.
That was a funny ass joke.
No, I'm just listening, my man. I want to see. Shit, I want to be able to do the same. Drive with some sugar. You said sugar grass. What did you say?
Sweet grass. It's like
sweet
a long
grass. My sugar grass.
Yeah, long grass that we braid up, and when you burn it, it smells real sweet.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So it's like a freshener, or is it like a? What's the purpose of it? Tell me that.
So like, I don't know if you ever heard of like smudging with like sage and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was going to say. I don't want to just say sage.
Yeah, no, basically same purpose. We'll gift it and stuff like that, and then you burn it and get rid of like bad stuff. And of course, it smells good, so that helps. Like I got some in the background over here. You can kind of see it in the corner over my shoulder over there. Got a bunch of stuff.
I see it.
Yeah, but Clint Kubiak, guys, did you guys hear about that?
Yeah, absolutely. It went up real quick. We're gonna have all the Kubiak brothers in a minute. I think they have another one named Klein, a third brother. So we have 2 Kubiaks right now, and there's one more out there.
Yeah, man, it's pretty cool, pretty promising, man. And of course, all the right people are excited about it as well, too, man. So that further gives me confidence in him being here, man. I still got to go and do some homework about him, but I heard about it kind of at the last second before we went on. Because I was doing some other stuff. But Ryan, do you have any thoughts on it? Do you know any backstory on all of it?
No, not necessarily, but the way I see this is a Kubiak, and they're very professional. I mean, they might not just be a head coach here and there all the time, you know what I mean? But some of these guys, they get coordinator positions and all that. So I think this is kind of like a plug and play of a hire, right? I don't know if he's bringing anything ordinary outside of the box to the team, but I think that he already knows exactly what Kyle's looking for. Just be a mention of Kyle and the scheme, you know, plug and play. And this is also a great thing for him because next in line, like almost next in line for head coaching position, like he's probably like 2 spots away. It'll probably be the guy they just promoted for offensive coordinator. Who was that? Which coach?
That was going to be the question I was going to ask you. Who was that?
Was it the wide receivers coach or was it the tight ends coach? Didn't we just
the tight ends coach? You got it.
Okay, so we just promoted him. So I think that the passing game coordinator is probably going to be the second person in line to get a coaching position on the offensive side.
Yeah, so Bobby Slowick out, and then Clint Kubiak is going to be in to help fill that void, man. Yeah, that's real cool, man. He's like a pass game coordinator or the offensive coordinator for the Broncos, or was, I should say. Clint Kubiak.
Yes.
Yes. So these guys, they're versed, man. Like you said, they're well versed in the NFL. So I'm looking forward to it, man. The 49ers, we lose crucial pieces, but just again, man, Kyle Shanahan showing his networking abilities as well as John Lynch and getting the right guys in here, man. And I can't wait to see like what kind of effect it has on the 49ers this upcoming season. But like I said, I want to do some more homework on Clint Kubiak as well.
I think I'm in
the real coach that I'm worried about is Brian Greasy. It's really the one coach I'm worried about. Like, as far as defensive wise, I think we're good. You know what I mean? We've got Steve Wilkes to figure out somebody to be on his staff. The only thing I could really help would be defensive backs, but that's his specialty, so we're covered there. Kyle can run this whole offense. You know what I mean? If he needs to be a position coach and do all that, he can. You know what I mean? It's help the team, but he can. So I'm just worried about Greasy still help Trey and Brock and anybody else that steps up here into the quarterback, because it seems like he really did a lot of good last year with giving these quarterbacks to help themselves in real game situations.
Do you think Greasy, I'm assuming that he has another good season with the two quarterbacks, or hopefully one consistent quarterback? You think he's in line for a head coaching position next season then? Is that what you're saying?
No. He's got to move in.
Or he'll go somewhere else?
I think he's got to move into coordinator to go to head coach. He could go to head coach.
I think he's here for a while then.
He could go to head coach, because think about it. It's kind of nice, because then have your offensive coordinator do offensive coordinator stuff, your defensive coordinator do defensive coordinator stuff, and your head quarterback whisperer. You know what I mean? That's a good thing.
Like ours.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, if head coach is going to, got time off, he can spend it with the quarterbacks while the offensive coordinators need deep in offensive coordinating, and the defensive coordinators need to coordinate defensive coordinating. So, yeah, it could thing. I just don't see that the way the league is going. They're not hiring that way.
Yeah, not this year. Not for Brian Greasy, man. He's never even coached up until this point. Was just being the quarterback coach was his first time, man. So he's got to work his way through the ranks, but he's got a good foundation off this his first year of being a quarterback coach. Now, I do feel good that, he's kind of already gotten Brock Purdy and Trey Lance up to speed. I think Brian Greasy's going to stay here this year and then maybe move on next year if he's not promoted within this organization. Then at least by that time, Trey Lance and Brock Purdy will know what we have in those two guys. I think they'll be basically in their prime at some extent, I think, man, because Brock Purdy is still young, man, but from what he's shown this past year, and he has another year of development and gets some more playing time, man. Both of these quarterbacks, I'm excited to see what they can do. And if we bring in a rookie, I'm curious to see how he does under Brian Greasy as well, man, especially in the preseason. But like I said, I think Brian Greasy's still got a lot to prove as a coach, and then he'll move up in the ranks. I don't think he's getting a head coaching job anytime soon. Probably be a few years.
So you were asking whether or not he was gonna... No, go ahead, Ryan. Well, okay, you were asking whether he was going to leave to be a coordinator somewhere, right? Brian Greasy, possibly. If like you said, if he doesn't get promoted within here, because Kyle's the OC, right? So he may leave and go get a coordinator job.
Maybe.
The other thing, why you guys were talking, I thought maybe a route could be you could get like an assistant head coach position, like the assistant head coach and the quarterback coach. That might be to where he's worrying about when he's out, it's fourth down, going for it on fourth, in charge of those type of plays. Then somebody could be like, oh, so you're behind this call and you're behind this call. We need offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. You need to figure out how you want to run your offense, but you can run the upper management stuff like an actual head coach from back in the day.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I'm saying it, man. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. This is his first time coaching ever, and it's a quarterback coach. It's nothing schematically. So, um, playing quarterback previously, his professional career would definitely help him with stuff like that if he did become an assistant coach and when. But I think he just has to move through the ranks still, man. Like pass game coordinator, um, then OC, and then assistant coach, and then head coach, something like that along the lines, in my opinion.
I agree. Usually, you
What
don't go
do you
from
think about
some incoming position to head coach. Go ahead, Ryan.
what do you think about David McNiner's question here? He thinks that Kyle needs to let the OC call the plays and just not being a head coach. Like, do you think Kyle can call the right? Draw up the plays. Obviously, you can explain to somebody, hey, this is what the scheme is down and this down. If they do this, we do this. You know what I mean? That's what I want you to do. Do you think Kyle would ever?
Go for it, Lawrence.
All right, appreciate that, Wolf. To answer your question real quick too, David. Well, I see we got a couple of Davids, I think, in here, right? We got McNiner, we got our boy McNiner, and then we got Via. I'm from Compton, California, David, and we definitely can do that one day. But I don't. I think he's the second most arrogant person in the NFL. The other one resides, I think, in Massachusetts. But I think he's the most arrogant person in the NFC. And shit, look who was just in the Super Bowl. I don't think he'll ever give up full control of the offense because I think he enjoys calling plays. That's what he does. I think at his core, he's a play caller. I think that gets in the way right now sometimes of him being able to be a 100% effective head coach. But I don't think he'll ever give it up. Maybe giving someone a little bit of the reins along the way. Definitely. I think he probably does a lot of that. He's lost, McDaniel. But give up and just let someone be the offensive coordinator and the play caller. I don't think so.
I agree, man. The thing, like I talked about I don't want to be too hasty to get rid of Kyle because I don't want him to take his lumps here and then go learn from all of it. And then we have to compete against it. Him, like Andy Reid just had with the Eagles and the Chiefs. Look at how good of a head coach Andy Reid is. And that bugs me to say that. It bugs me because I can't stand the Chiefs, guys, but I can't stand the Eagles even more.
Right.
So I hope, and I think we really got to put a huge magnifying glass on Kyle Shanahan this year, man. He got 4 quarterbacks hurt this year. And that's part of head coaching, right? That all stems from head coaching is protecting your quarterbacks. There's a lot of times when you see the sideline and Kyle Shanahan misses a play because he's looking down at the play sheet and he's missing head coaching jobs that he's supposed to be taking care of on the field, like i.e., fucking challenging a play when Devontae Smith did not catch the ball. Things like that, guys. Like he needs to be a head coach first. But I mean, how much can you give and take? Like if he puts that in somebody else's hands, how much can it take away from what he does schematically? Because he's not just the play designer and the play caller. Like he sequences these plays to build off each other. And I don't think he has the confidence that somebody else can do that for him. So I don't know, man. I really just hope that he's learning from all the mistakes that he's taken over the few years that he's been here. But big magnifying glass on him this year, man. Big time. Hot seat.
I agree.
Okay. We got a couple questions here from the I just want to get through the rest. I'm going to see if there's any good ones. Okay. Yeah, well, they're all good. Sorry. But
Compton is dangerous.
Wait. Ryan, what do you think? Do you agree with this or do you have any other anything else to add to that?
I'm sorry, I was constantly trying to keep up with the chat. I was not listening. What were you guys talking about?
It was the Kyle Shanahan giving up some offensive coordinator
yes,
leverage.
I think it should happen. Yes, maybe. I think there should be time where he should be able to just walk away and handle something else, and somebody should be able to just do what they would. You know what I mean? Yeah, on offense, there should be a thing. But I don't think it'll ever happen because he just is control over that. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's like his only thing that heals that he can have control over, and he doesn't want to let it go. Damien brings up a question here. He says, restructure Arm Trent to get help on both sides. Even D Ford kept taking pay cuts at the end. Well, we're still taking pay cuts. He was just, okay, you won't pay me all my money this year. You'll pay more money down. There's like, okay, I'm cool with that. What are your thoughts? I think we should, if we've only got like a 1 or 2 year window right now, we need to make the most of it. We got to push a little something down the road, and stretch it out a year, for 10 years. I don't care. I don't care.
Wolf.
Yeah, I actually saw something about this particular conversation today, man. And for me, Armstead, you got to do it. I feel with Trent, it's tough because he might be one and done this year. This might be his last one. So I would like to push a little bit off into the next couple of years to pay him like we did with D Ford, like how you said. And I also saw something about Debo, the talk about Debo getting traded to the Patriots, that the Patriots are kind of sniffing around, and the 49ers might be able to free up some cap space by trading Debo. And I guess that wouldn't work because Debo's supposed to take a $28 million cap hit this year if he gets traded. So that's basically dead money regardless. So we have to keep him here or else we'll pay more from my understanding of it. Now with Trent, I would still push a little bit if possible to next year. I think that would kind of give him insurance as well as kind of open things up so we could bring guys in to help this team build on what we did this year and all the people we might be losing. Who else? That's Armstead. Yeah, man. I would trade him. I would trade his ass if I could.
I don't think we can trade him. That's the thing. That's why I think everybody's talking about restructure, kick it down the road. So at least if we got to have him on the team, it's not so much of a big dent each year, and then we can go and get somebody like Payne, to help Bosa out, Barrick out. You know what I mean? I think it's good. I think we should get Payne, restructure Eric Armstead, get Payne. We draft an edge. We got Drake Jackson who should be coming in, getting here, and we got another guy. Another guy too should be a stud. What's his name? He hasn't played, so I never remember his name. Kalia Davis. Yeah. Is he interior? See, I don't.
Yeah,
I thought he was, but
I think so.
But also with Trent, yeah, let's do Trent. Let's maybe try to kick it down the road a little bit, but also give him a little more incentive if he stays around for not next year, but the year after that. You know what I mean? Be like, come on, 2 years, dog. 2 years, dog. Let's lock you in for 2 years. We'll give you a good payday. Send you off. Hopefully, maybe two. You know what I mean? Next question I thought was really good. Alberto wants to. What are you guys trade for Elijah, 3rd or 4th round? I really wouldn't trade for Elijah at this moment. I wouldn't trade any of our guys that we got. We don't have any on the team, I think, that's really worth trade value other than Jawan Jets, and I'm not willing to trade for him. You know what I mean? Like, What's your thoughts?
Yeah. Well, first, Armstead, you can do whatever you want to Armstead. Really, honestly, in my opinion, we can cut him. I would take hits, whatever the fuck it is. To be honest, if we got rid of Eric Armstead, who doesn't even know how to spell his own name. And then, as far as this trade, Elijah, I would see how things go. At first thought, I wouldn't trade Elijah, but after that, I would see how that motherfucker's playing, or if he's playing at the trade deadline. Definitely, I wouldn't do anything like camp or nothing like that. No way I would look at that yet, because just the way Kyle can't keep anyone healthy. I don't care what position you play, but Kyle can't keep anyone healthy apparently, and we just don't have the backs for that. We have Christian. Debo will be back in the backfield if we get rid of Elijah. TDP, Kyle's never going to give him a chance. He's never going to play. He doesn't play Jordan. Like, fuck you, Kyle. So, but I love you, Kyle. But yeah, I wouldn't trade Elijah right now. Trade deadline, pardon me, maybe if he can stay healthy through the season, and if everyone's staying healthy, then maybe we could do that.
Man, if you could get something good for him, yes, but I don't think you can, man. Look what we got for Jeff Wilson Jr. And Jeff Wilson Jr. actually stayed healthy for a long stretch, man. We only got a 5th rounder for him. So that's what I'm looking at if you trade Elijah Mitchell as well. And we got him in the 5th or 6th round. So, I mean, that there other teams are going to try and use that as leverage. Like, hey, you got bang for your buck out of that pick. Just give him to us for a 7th rounder. And a 2024 7th rounder at that, man. I mean, I don't think I would be opposed to trading Elijah Mitchell, man. As it is, he can't stay healthy. And do you want to pay him more money or save money with these rookies that have a lot of potential, man? There was actually, I forget who it was, but somebody had come out with a quote. I think it was one of the players talking about TDP and that just wait till he gets to show what he's got as well, man. So I'm looking forward to these younger guys that seem to be able to stay healthy, and then as well as bringing in some fresh legs behind that. You know, I don't know what Jermichael Hasty's contract is looking like, if he's stuck over there with the Jaguars, but that'd be really cool to bring him back. If not, draft somebody in the 3rd. If you could trade Elijah Mitchell for a 5th, I would go 3rd round for a running back this time. And usually I wouldn't do that, but this time I'd make an exception, I think, if you trade Elijah Mitchell.
Wolf. Okay, so real quick. So this motherfucker always takes a back in the 3rd round every single year that he's been here, damn near, I think. Okay, but
Yeah.
I've heard the same thing that you said about TDP, right? And I think he can play. I watched him in college. Do you think Kyle's ever going to play that, man? On the real?
Yeah.
Look at Jordan Mason.
He already did. And I think he's going to be that bruiser guy. I don't think we're going to be seeing Tevin Coleman this year. I think it's going to be, if Mitchell is here, I think it's going to be the CMC, Mitchell, JP Mason, and TDP show. Anybody else is going to be on the practice squad that's fresher. I think we're done with Tevin Coleman, in my opinion.
I pray we are, dude. I hope so. I really do. I can't
Hey,
stand
man,
Tevin Coleman.
What the hell? He looked pretty damn good when he was out there on the field, man. So I think we just brought in better talent, and it kind of of course, when you bring in CMC, he's got to play. And then Jeff Wilson got traded and all that. So I mean, I think it says something as well that the 49ers were pushing JP Mason ahead of Tevin Coleman, so that was cool, and that's promising, man.
Well, shit, that's what I'm saying. So, like, Tevin Coleman came back to the team this year. I can't remember if did he get on the field this year? I don't remember. Maybe it was just a practice squad.
Yeah.
He got on the field.
Hey, against Carolina,
good
too.
He caught that 50-50 ball.
Always have the day against.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so look, man, and I turned 41 in 11 days, and my memory's not the best, but my point is, like you said, if we have better talent, so why the fuck does Tevin Coleman keep ending up on the squad, as opposed to playing Ty Davis Price, as opposed to, okay, he did make an outstanding catch. I jumped off my seat, but That's just my point. Is that he
Part of the
he holds on to vets as opposed to letting those young players play. Same thing he's doing all across the roster. Drake Jackson was out of shape. Drake Jackson was fat. Oh, he couldn't play. Like, come on, Kyle.
No, that's the thing. Tevin Coleman was on the practice squad behind JP Mason and TDP. But even JP Mason and TDP, they weren't getting reps because Shanahan leans on CMC and Mitchell. That's first and foremost. It's those two guys unless one of them gets hurt. And unless we're blowing the opponent out and we're going to close out the game with somebody like that, like a JP Mason, then that's when they come in. So it was just because of the Kyle Shanahan's mentality. It's no longer running by committee for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
no,
I agree.
It's running back by favoritism.
Yeah.
David Villa asks, I'm up in Washington right now. I live in Washington.
Hey.
I might actually be moving to Arizona where Wolf is. That's where my daughter is. And yeah, so
you close to
I might be rolling
Yakima?
around there. No, I am the exact opposite of Yakima. Yakima, that's all. So it's two different states essentially. So once you hit the mountains, there's something I don't know about a rain shadow in Arizona, but a rain shadow is when the clouds come up to the mountains. To pass the mountains, they have to drop all their weight right in front of it, and their moisture is their weight. So essentially, it dumps rain on us here, and once it clears up, then it's going for a minute before I have to get any taller. Past our mountain range is all dry. So like Yakima and all that stuff, like is it the Nez Perce out there? They grew up on the Tulalip tribe, which was like I think it was like 25 or something tribes lumped into one. They're like, yeah, you're Tualips now, and they're like, wait, no, only a couple of us are Tualips. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so they were all into fishing like salmon. So like seafood, like salmon. That's the like the ticket over here.
Smoked salmon.
Like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, we get that over here. We get monsoons, man. In the summer, it's big time monsoon season. Hot as shit, and then all of a sudden you get big ass rain clouds like all summer. It's really cool. I like it. Big old thunderstorms. But David Villa did ask something earlier about what would be our first move of the offseason. I mean, the 49ers have made plenty of moves, but I guess our next move, I think he's probably asking about. What do you guys think?
Next move got to be a free agent because that's what comes first. So, and everybody's looking for a splat. No, they know they got pretty much the consensus is without restructuring. There's room for one splash and signing. So, but you could restructure a really good splash and cover some other holes too. You know what I mean? So, free agent wise, what are you thinking?
Well, before I give my answer, folks, if y'all don't mind, thank y'all all so much for watching. By the way, first of all, again, welcome tonight. If everybody can hit the like button, we appreciate it. I don't think we've said that tonight. And please, we want you to subscribe to all the channels. We should be streaming on at least these two gentlemen's channels and on platform 246. It's not hard to find. But please subscribe to the channels. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. And there you go. My man got it. So everything is down there for you. We appreciate you guys. And I think you were mentioning in the Ryan, my man, is my first move of this offseason for me personally would be to sign Bosa, to secure him to whatever it's going to be, and then know where we can allocate the rest of our money going forward. That would be the biggest thing for me for this offseason, is to get Bosa completely signed and then free agents from there.
They're not going to do that though. It's like what they do is they go and make all their moves
all the way to camp
who aren't in house, and then they wait for all that stuff to fall down, and they go, okay, well, this we can pay you this year, okay, and then now this is how it's like they force them to just deal with whatever they have allotted to spend after that point. You know what I mean? Because they spend all the money up to 1-2. know what I mean? Like it's like they got their check. You know what I mean? You get your check, you spend all your money, and you got that lump for your rent, and then you just at last second, boom, there you go. You know, that's all I got. That's all.
So you think they'll stretch it all the way to camp, like we do with everybody?
Like they always do.
Honestly,
Like they do with everybody.
Fucking
they either sign you going into like the playoffs, you know, and so you're kind of cheap at that moment. You know what I mean? Because you haven't proven essentially everything you've proven all year long. You know what I mean? You know, because you're like, you know, the Super Bowl, you know, you're gonna be worth more. But if you sign right now and you know you get hurt, you're so much, you know, it's a deal. Yeah. So that's I think do it before they do it last minute.
It hasn't really hurt us that bad. I think. Go ahead, Wolf.
I think the way Lawrence is saying would be the way to go. That way you get him out of the way and then you know where you stand with everybody else. Because in my eyes, Bosa and an offensive tackle, whether it be McGlinchey or not, that has to be our primary oh no. Yeah, that has to be our primary focus is Bosa and a right tackle. Like I said, whether it be McGlinchey or not. Amen. So I think you get Bosa, then you know where you stand with everything else financially, and then we'll go from that because free agency starts on March 15th. So they got to start working on all these guys. You know, they're going to figure out all these deals before free agency actually hits, so that you know all the contracts are ready already, and everybody in house is prepped for that, and we know who's staying and who's actually going to test free agency. Go ahead.
What the hell is tampering period?
I don't think one exists anymore. I don't even know if one exists anymore, to be honest.
No, it definitely exists. It definitely exists because people will talk about it and they'll like say, you know, their intent to sign with him before they're able to. They still do that, but it's like, what's the sense of even, you know, having the tampering period if they're essentially doing anything that they can do in a week early? All you're doing is making something can't be done official for at least a week.
It's called cock.
It's blocking. Like if somebody wants, what can you cock? Like really?
No, but like, that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't think that there is one anymore. You're saying like everyone's always tampering, in my opinion. You're saying that they're just saying nothing's official until a week from such and such date. I know there's a hard date, but they're already, like we said, right now they're sniffing around about Debo. Like, so now he knows that. That's out in the media.
Which
that's
I
tampering.
Want to talk on that too.
You know, that's tampering to me. Like, why is that even out? If it's true or not or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
So let's get on that real quick. The guy who reported that, this is what I looked for. The guy who reported that,
I got that motherfucker's name,
has a podcast called
I got that motherfucker.
Stick. Hey, he's got a podcast called Stick to Wrestling. And he's breaking Debo Samuel news about the Patriots. Yeah. So that's what I think about that. It's just a whole bunch of bullshit. Somebody close to something said, yeah, people are looking into Debo Samuel. He's like, what? He's like, hey, I got a podcast. Guess what? I got some news, guys. They're looking into Debo Samuel. You know what? I actually talked to somebody who actually talks to people and the team. I didn't know that this guy knew these people. And he told me, you know, some things. And then he told me not to tell anybody. And I didn't told anybody because first thing, I don't know if it's true. Second of all, he told me that's his to break. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just sitting back with this knowledge going, if it plays out, then I know what's what. You know what I'm saying? I know whose show I'm watching every Monday. Just saying. So, yeah. You know, it's like, why, if you're not like look what Jesse talked about Trent tipping plays. That's saying, hey, I found something on tape, this and that. This guy is saying rumors going around about somebody. If anything, this is what I think that would be. It would be somebody trying to look into Brandon Ayuk. You know what I mean? Talk about, hey, can we give you a first and a second for Debo? And it'd be like, no, you can't have Debo. But if you want a receiver, what about Brandon Ayuk? You know what I mean? Like, it's to shop around, try and just to push the topic. You ask for something you know they're going to say no to, and then you try and go with something that they might be open with, that they might not be originally. You know, like buying something you don't want to buy. You remember Django? Remember how they were trying to get in to buy the wife? They were trying to buy something he did want to sell, not his best one, but then he'd want to get rid of, but still was worth a lot. This might be the same move. I love that movie. Love that movie, Django.
What you think,
Will? Once he starts mentioning stuff like that with Brandon Ayuk and everything like that, then I start flirting with the ideas and wondering, if you did have to trade one of these guys, who would it be? How much would somebody have to give you for them? And, you know, like one of the first thoughts I had was when I heard that about Debo to the Patriots, because they're sniffing around, is that doesn't sound like Belichick, man. That doesn't sound like something Belichick would do. Pay somebody, a wide receiver, that much money? I don't think so. So, I mean, it is what it is. You know, I think about it. I do my due diligence and, you know, just kind of thinking about it and playing out the scenarios. But that's my initial thought, is it's bullshit. I would hate to see Debo go, but I mean, he costs a lot, man. But I think his cap hit for this year is not that high, actually. I forget what it is.
I would prefer if Debo was traded over Brandon at this point, because we would probably get more for Debo, and we don't know. You know, Brandon's going to be making less than him, even when he gets his contract. I think that's a given. I just think it would be a more beneficial trade if we traded Debo, and I would really miss that motherfucker. But I just think it would be a more beneficial trade to the team if we had to pick over the two.
Well, so Debo, I was gonna say $8 million. I wanted to go and double check pretty much exactly what it was. So Debo's cap hit this year is only $8.6 million. So I think if you trade him, try and wait till next year.
Next year.
See what
next year.
See what his production is like this year for 8.6. But I understand if the Patriots want him, why they would want him. You know, a good check down option, quick slant option for Mac Jones, a young quarterback. But for 8.6, I'd rather keep him. But that's the thing about the trade, you know, the leverage. If he does get traded, I guess he's going to hit the cap for like 28 million this year. So it's like it's more incentive to keep him regardless. Yeah.
I think Brandon Ayuk will actually be more valuable throughout the whole league than Debo. Yeah. Just because Brandon Ayuk's more of a number one wide receiver. You know what I mean? But to certain teams that know how to use a Debo Samuel, he would be the best option hands down. Like in Miami. You know what I mean? McDaniel knows how to use a Debo. You know what I mean? Would pick Debo hands down over Ayuk because he's already got an Ayuk in Tyreek Hill and Watt. You know what I mean? So there's no sense, no need to have three of them. I'd rather have 2 and 1. You know, so it's I don't want to see either one of them go. I like having the difference in them. Yeah, because also they can play. They can act as the team, which really then throws you off. Because if Debo's being regular wide receiver thing, you're like, okay, what's the gimmick here? If Debo's being a regular wide receiver now, there's got to be some other gimmick going on the other field, around the field. Someone's looking for. for it, you know.
Yeah,
And
we
that
got to
might
keep.
open.
Yeah, Ayuk, man, true number one wide receiver, and he actually stays healthy. He's really good at route running, so we need somebody like that. You guys, you guys are right. I love it. It's a 1-2 punch, man. But you definitely, if you're gonna trade Debo, I think it would have to be to somebody like the Patriots. Nobody like Miami, Mike McDaniels or Andy Reid. You can't let him fall to those
Yeah,
guys.
no. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Watch this. He's an excellent route runner. Please run your finger to the like button and to the subscribe button for all 3 channels. Debo them. Look at that. Tell me that wasn't fly. No,
That would fly.
Thank
David
you.
Villa wanted to do a shout out here. I think this is something really nice to say. Amigos, always
Thank
love
you.
talking football, my Niners, but a real let's talk. Also pray about all the people suffering around the world, especially in Turkey. Life is always bigger than football. Those poor people in Turkey had enough, and they need to get back to normal and bury their loved ones. They have lost a lot, and I feel so bad for that. And it was like, I think I was watching things. There was people trying to steal people out, and then the aftershock came and got them too. You know what I mean? Just sad, horrible stuff. Even the heroes got. So, shout out to them. Keep them in your thoughts tonight. On that note, Brian Cope's got a question for us. A great transition, huh? Lawrence, honest question. How confident do you think the Niners will draft a running back in the third this draft? I know we kind of touched. I just wanted to make sure we got him his full question answered.
Well,
I don't
Brian,
think it's happening
Brian, I want to know what you think, man. So give us your thoughts. Like for me, like I said, if Mitchell gets traded, which I don't see happening, but if it does, then I think the 49ers feel it's okay to draft in the third round for a running back. But outside of that, they've got so much flack for doing that. And they've had guys that you can kind of say are busts coming out of the third round. So I don't think they want to go back and do that unless Mitchell gets traded and they get some capital, draft capital for that.
I agree, Wolf. Exactly that same way. Unless we trade CMC. I mean, not CMC, excuse me, the other guy, Elijah. because we have CMC for 2 more years minimum under contract. He's ours. Clank, right? So why would we draft a running? Why would Cal do that? Other than he's Cal, draft a running back in the third round again. You know what I mean? That's like that's our first round draft pick, basically. Until I think we'll, by the way, about the draft, I think we'll move up into the second round, package some of the 11 picks that we have. We may get another one when James leaves, I think. Excuse me. So I think we'll package some picks and go to the second round. But right now, our first round pick is in the third round. So if Kyle used that for a goddamn running back, I think that, like you said, he does apparently listen to more than it gets to him. So he knows how much flack he's got for drafting. It gets to him. We know it does from what happened with him and with Trey. We can talk about that. But yeah, it's gonna get to him again. You're gonna draft a running back in the third round, sir? So no, I think that's it's not likely unless, like you said, Wolf, we somehow end up trading Elijah.
Look, he better not. That's all I'm going to say is he better not. Second of all, I don't know why we're talking about trading Elijah Mitchell. Okay, never fumbled. All right, he might be a little injury prone. Doesn't matter. The guy doesn't fumble when he's in. Just keep him in here and keep another running back coming in behind him. Okay, that's all you got to do. Just point the man forward when he's healthy, and he'll get you 10 yards. Trade you.
Like you said, he never fumbles when he's in, but he doesn't have a whole lot of opportunity to be in, though. This dude plays like a third of the season. So that's why I'm not opposed.
For the playoffs.
Yeah, maybe. But who knows, man? He was our best running back last year, not this past one, but the one before 2021. And he gets a full off season to get healthy, man. So he could come back with the vengeance, and I believe it's a contract year for him. So that's going to be something to look for.
Big City said his carry
he's got-
on Madden is 99. You said you're right about the fumbling, y'all. He don't fumble. His carrying is 99 on Madden. That is true. Yeah. But his injury prone on Madden, that's 31.
Hey, real quick, Big City man.
31.
Big City man. If you play Madden, anybody in here, if you play Madden, let me know. And that way
You
we
talking
could
to
get
him
a
right here,
game
Lo.
link. Okay.
And
So
my
we could
sons.
get a game. Yeah, we got to get a game linked up, man, because
Let's do it.
I play online.
Okay.
And
Yep.
what pisses me off about Madden is so Deebo Samuel fumbled in the first game of the season against the Chicago Bears. I don't know if anybody remembers that. Madden had the fucking audacity to make Deebo Samuel in Madden. Like every time he gets the ball, this dude fumbles, man. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
You can't jet sweep. You can't do anything with this guy unless it's like an actual route. Then he might not fumble. But if he's running the ball, he's most likely going to fumble. So I can't even use Deebo as a rusher, for the rushing attack for jet sweeps or anything like that in Madden, or else he's going to fumble the damn thing. It pisses me off. Makes no sense whatsoever. When the hell do you ever see Deebo fumbling? That was just, the first game of the season? That was about it. That was it.
NFC Championship. NFC Championship.
All right.
Deebo?
2 and 4 years. Okay.
Yeah. He did. He
2 and 4
sweep. Years. It was a sweep. Well, it was some kind of it was the triple reverse, the double reverse. And then he comes outside, and then as he's about to turn upfield. Yeah, that was after the quarterback was out. But I remembered it from watching something the day, and when you said it, that's why I said it all low, like I was disappointed in myself for knowing the answer. Yeah.
Deebo in Madden is exactly what y'all said. You can run a route with that motherfucker. The first time I ever ran, when they first put him officially in the backfield so that you didn't have to just maneuver and do your little trickery and shit. When he was set to be a backfield player, my first rush with him, he fumbled. And I haven't done it since.
You think they would have done that with Ray? Let's move to the Trey Lance talk. Let's bring up. I want to start with. Do you want to talk about Kyle actually listening to social media and all this stuff, or do you want to talk about fatigue and kind of how some people? Have you noticed some people are reporting that differently? That they're like, he was fatigued without explaining why he was fatigued. Have you noticed that? Well, let's go with the fatigue and why he got fatigued. Okay, so Trey had said to Coach Avery, Quentin Avery, that yes, his was fatigued last year when everybody was talking about it, and what was when he never stopped throwing the ball essentially from the moment he started his last season in college to when he got injured. He had 20 straight months of throwing the ball with his arm when normal quarterbacks will take a couple months off after the season, not throw the ball so much. And he was throwing anywhere between 2 to 5 times a week, which is a big pace. And so it's kind of understandable that his arm might be a little tired from doing, let's say, 3 times the workload. Would we say that? We say that's about 3 times, 5 months for a season workload, somewhere around that. So 3 times the workload of a normal season just to get ready. And that's why I was fatigued. You guys got into to add to that? Did I miss anything in that explanation? That any nuances that I might have not picked up on?
No, man, it makes sense. Something that pitchers got to deal with a lot. I know I felt like stuff like that, but this brings up something about Trey is like, dude, you don't have to throw the ball with all your might every single damn play. Check downs are called check downs for a reason. They're not fastballs. So, I mean, dude, like, I hope, he focuses on the underneath, not focuses, but I hope he really works on the underneath stuff and putting some touch on the ball and stuff like that. On the intermediate to deep passes, he's really good at that, even with touch. So just take a little bit off sometimes, man, and it's going to help your arm as well. So with some rest, hopefully that don't happen this season.
I agree with you. It's just like you said, like a pitcher. It said that the most working to get in your arm is as a quarterback coming from college to the draft. That's going to be the most that your shit can possibly change, the most throws you're going to get. And he did that, trying to prove that he was going to be able to be a good quarterback coming from North Dakota State. So, and then, just continue to try to get the job here on this team. He did 20 months, like you said. And I think that, he was honest about it. He said that he hadn't gone through that much, practice at any point in his life before. He was doing it, we talked about maybe 3 days a week at minimum for that whole entire 20 months. So it was a lot of throwing. It led to arm fatigue. But just the thing that I brought out of it is if he came out and he had arm fatigue for all that time, imagine what he's going to look like this time around without it. And that's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
It's funny because I remember somebody saying they were upset at Trey Lance because he's like, are you not going to go and train with quarterback coach in the off season? He's like, nah, after this and that, I'm going to go, do some other kind of training. It's like, because maybe I spent the last 2.5 years just
there you go.
And I've only done, 2 games. Do something else before I go insane. You know what I mean? Like, I got something else.
Church.
Yeah. Is there anything else on this? I know. Oh, so I've seen people like Wayne Breezy try to pass it off as either way it was fatigue. And I didn't like the way he just said either way it was fatigue, because I don't think that it's a either way it's fatigue situation. That's a hell of a, for instance, versus, somebody who might be, a little overworked. You know what I mean? There's a big difference. You know what I mean? You're talking about a 3-time workload between or something where you could say somebody could be just being a wuss. You know what I mean? Like, he's a little fatigued, he's not tough enough. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's what Wayne Breezy was saying, but certain other people commit misconstrued, things to be like that. And to me, there's a draft in there to where it's not a either or, you know what I mean, thing. It's not the same. It's not and that's what I've seen out there. But then the interesting fact we found out was that Trey, like this is his most used emoji. So please don't think that means that he thinks he's going somewhere or wants to go somewhere. He might just be holding up hopes that, one of the people that he appreciates gets a better job in life. He was saying that he spent a lot of time in the training room with Ron Carthen's kids, and that we're kind of like a guiding light in his treatment this year, which is okay. Guy went through a horrible situation. He could be, losing his starting position, sorts of things up in the air. You got 2 kids in the training room who were making you smile. Okay. Then his dad up for a job, and you're like, I hope you get it. The next day, and Kyle's like, hey, did you hear about the trade rumors? Turns out you want to go to Tennessee. And it's like, huh? And at that time, we all found out that Kyle listens to everything, even though he says he doesn't. He is well aware Even if he doesn't necessarily tune in, he's got other who are telling him the day to day. You know what I mean? He's got other staff who tell him what's going on. You with how things go, and like all the debo, you need somebody to keep up on that stuff for you, one way or another. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how they're talking. That's how they're doing business nowadays on the IG. So you've got to be hip to that game. And right. So to say that Kyle's not on there, okay, somebody is, and somebody's talking to him, and this is confirmation. You guys got thoughts?
Wolf, you want to go?
I mean, I just always felt like Shanahan's been listening to us for a long time. That's why I like to push the narratives. I like to push them, man, because whether, it's the bird on Kyle Shanahan's shoulder or whether it's his own ears, himself tuning in with his own eyes and ears, he hears it one way or another. I think, man. I think the evidence has been there for a long time over the past couple of years. Maybe they're just seeing what we're seeing on film day and they're making their corrections, or maybe they're actually hearing us and making the corrections week to week. There was, like, for example, when the Jimmy Garoppolo thing came up about your plays suck, man. And then Kyle Shanahan was asked about it in the press conference like the next day. He's like, yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see any of your guys' silly little interpretations of the video and this and that. But I did have somebody prior to the press conference that I forget what they call them, but the part of the people that helped prepare him with his notes prior to the press conference, with questions they're probably going to be asked and stuff like that. They kind of gave him the lowdown, like, hey, you're going to be asked about this, about Jimmy Garoppolo. And he said, yeah, he didn't hear about it. I think that was bullshit. The whole world heard about it. He had to have heard about it some way. It wasn't like he just showed up to the press conference that day and that was the first he ever heard about it, in my opinion. But I don't know, man. When it comes to Trey Lance, like I said, I hope he gets rested up, and I just want to see this guy fire on all cylinders. No arm fatigue, no nothing. Like, dude, you've been in a wheelchair, you've been on crutches, you like this whole season, so your arm should be rested up. I'm not worried about that. You still got to put in the work when it comes to the off-season training stuff for quarterbacks, your throwing motions and all stuff like that, because your short passes are off the mark. They really are. Not 100% of the time, but a pretty damn good portion. So go to Cabo, go to whatever the hell you got to do for a week or two, but get your ass back to work, bro, please, for your own sake.
Yeah. He also needs to kind of get more comfortable with the system somehow. It seems like one of Purdy's biggest assets, whereas he knew exactly where people were going to be, and he knew in different defensive formations, coverages, different defensive coverages, he knew exactly look. You know what I mean? And that's what really, I think, set him apart from everybody else that, played the game this season, is he looked like, even when he didn't know where he was going with the ball, like he knew where he could go with the ball in eventually. He's just got to buy some more time, but he knows the route that he's looking for to come open. You know what I mean? He always had a plan. Always had a plan. You know what I mean? Like, which I would like Jimmy went once the play is run its route and he's got no more options and it's a drill. I mean, he is lost. That guy has no idea. He just needs to just take an Uber and go home at that point. You know what I mean? He is not equipped to play football.
Or
the play breaks down.
Or throw the ball away. Don't be afraid to throw the ball away.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Like, he would rather run very slowly and awkwardly and get back than to just throw the ball away. Yeah.
When did he ever run? No,
Well,
no,
slowly.
but
It's like
When he got hurt, he was running.
look, bro, that was the next part of the joke, because that's when that motherfucker ran, and when he, come on, James,
He
he
had
got
kind
hurt.
of a he had a very similar kind of play that went to Ray McLeod that was successful, and he's
Mhm.
done it a few times, man. It's just not as fast or as quick as these other two young quarterbacks, man. But like Ryan's talking about, man, I just love how smart our two young quarterbacks are, man. Like, not like Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't stupid, but he had moments where he didn't get that vibe where, like, he was the smartest guy. Like, he was kind of airheaded a little bit, I think,
Airhead, there you go.
like that really pretty girl that don't got a whole lot going on in her brain. It's kind of like that.
slamming body,
So
but
yeah,
like
I mean, you
figure
said
out
it,
how
not
to
me.
put her in
Butterface.
VCR.
He said,
Butterface.
oh no, Butterface. No, man, but and he had his gifts. Jimmy Garoppolo does, but these two guys, these young guys, they're athletic. They've got all the attributes of really good athletic quarterbacks, and then plus they got the IQ of a quarterback that's going to help them get out of certain situations and extend plays and get through reads and all that type of stuff, man. So that's part of the reason I'm pumped up about it, man.
They give us a lot to be excited about. I think Kyle is going to kick Trey's ass probably tomorrow when he finds out that Trey let out of the bag that he listens to everything that goes on, by having that interview today.
He'll just
As far
downplay
as
it.
yeah, he'll just downplay that too, right? He won't sell it. Just like in
Yeah.
wrestling, he won't even sell it. Yeah. As
He's gonna
far
pull
as
a Jimmy. He's gonna pull a Jimmy Garoppolo and not even text him back. He's gonna be like, "Hey, man, sorry, I was in Cancun for like 2 weeks. I didn't get your text. I threw
I
my
had
cell
no
phone
idea
away."
what's going on.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
yeah.
idea. I think right now
Like,
Trey
I
is
thought it was all good.
the only thing Trey is right now is talented. And he's definitely intelligent, smart, but he's not anywhere near as prepared as Brock Purdy. He just hasn't had the reps at any time, probably since high school, and that was probably like playing Madden. You know what I mean? He's not ready right now. I don't believe he is, but he can get ready. Um, on the job, the same way everybody does. Unfortunately for him, it's going to be at the highest level. Brock Purdy got ready on the job. No matter whether he was winning or losing in college, he played 48 games. Started 48 games. Started as a freshman, I believe, right, and all the way through college, a 4-year starter. So he's ready to play football. Trey Lance still is not ready to play football. That's why he's skitterish, and he didn't know where the routes were going to be, or what. And is that studying? I don't know either, too, because Brock Purdy came in a year after him, and he did know, if he bought himself time, where the route was going to be. So I don't know how that comes into how often you've played versus really how you process information or study information. But in any event, I think that he needs to just get ready by playing.
Yeah. How else is he gonna master it? So I used to be a plumber apprentice. One of the things I would do is do a dishwasher. The first thing I started doing was pulling out dishwashers, right? So you can tell me how you take out a dishwasher, but until I actually turn off the valve and actually get my channels locks on that the water line and start taking off the line, still gonna be new and never have done it before, and still in the beginning not gonna be good at it. I wasn't good at it for a couple months. You know what I'm saying? And once I figured out, now I got ADHD, so I figured out I got to have a plan every single do this. I got to do it the same way so I don't forget, and it makes me more efficient, and makes me so I don't mess up, because when you're working with water, you forget to tighten something. You know what I mean? So my thing was always never anything without whatever I was working on fully tightened. Okay, that's what I found, and after a while, I was running lead. I was running lead on a dishwasher crew. We were doing 12 dishwashers a day. You know what I'm saying? 8-hour shift. It was banging these things out. It was easy. I could level these things like nothing. It was after I had been forced to do the toughest, which is leveling the dishwasher and doing all that. It's the toughest thing to do, right? Of course, that's the only way I became a pro at it, is because I'll do the toughest job in there the whole time, and I was always upset, kind of like, why do I got to do this job? I'm a guy over here who I'm rolling job way quicker than me. Why am I having to do this job? So I could learn how to do it, so I could get good at doing it. You know what I mean? That's the way he's going to learn, by just doing it.
And not just any playing time, man. Like David McNiner says, he has to get playing time as a quarterback, not a running back.
Yeah.
That's 100%, man. So not just any playing time, man. This dude needs quarterback reps.
Amen.
Like the Jimmy G offense. That's what I thought he was here to play. You know what I mean? I thought he was here to, by hitting the clear out route. I thought he was supposed to open up the offense by hitting the clear out route and be able to buy his time in the scramble game when when the play broke down and everybody was covered. I thought that's what he was here for. I didn't think he was the fourth running back. I thought, like, I want him running the ball maybe like twice a game, really taking the ball twice a game, but I want to look like he's got a chance of running it every other time we hand the ball off. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Wolf.
That's what the Eagles were doing.
Yep.
That read option. That's what they're giving the illusion that Jalen Hurts was a possible rusher every single play. Then so when he did take it, it caught you by surprise for the most part. But with Trey Lance, man, Jimmy Garoppolo's offense, that's just not good enough, man. And plus, like I said, Jimmy Garoppolo's attributes, man, he's really good with a quick release and fitting into tight windows, underneath at least, I should say. So the Jimmy G offense is heavily reliant on quick slants and tight windows. That's not Trey Lance's game. He has done it. He has shown that he could do it. I think one of the really nice ones was to Ayuk against the Cardinals in 2021. Yeah, 2021. But no, the Trey Lance offense has to be more like Brock Purdy's offense, if not even a step further. Just the Trey Lance offense, man. Take the Brock Purdy offense and fulfill it even more.
What I meant, it was like, it seemed like Kyle was running a Lamar Jackson, to contrast him, Lamar Jackson style offense with Trey. Yeah. And I'm saying I want the Jimmy G offense as a contrast, as far as that. Like, I'm not saying he has to run the exact same thing. I'm just saying I want to see him incorporated with the run game here and there, but the offense to look the same as it always has. You know what I mean? Except there's every once in a while there's a chance he might go away with it. You know what I mean? And that's I don't see why Kyle didn't see that as the best move. Like, this will be nasty. Like, this will be nasty. Yeah. All right.
Well, I mean,
you want to wrap this up? I'm sorry.
Oh no. Well, I think we all thought the same thing. This could be nasty, and Kyle didn't want to get nasty. Basically, he wanted to do whatever you call it. He wanted to do Kyle, guys. And that's Kyle. Anybody got any final thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with Macchiano, man. Give Trey the Josh Allen offense. That's
Amen, Macchiano.
Yep. That's probably one of the best things you could do. I want to see him stay healthy this year. I really hope that is how it plays out, and he gets his full chance to show what he's got, man. Because like we said before, if he falls on his face, but he's healthy and there's no excuses, that's one thing. But he has not gotten a full shot at it. And Kyle Shanahan was holding him back with the offense. So I want to see it, man. And I want to see him stay healthy. Don't get that injury-prone label slapped on your back, man.
I agree with you, Wolf. I think he made... Oh, no, go ahead, Ryan.
No. Finish up. Thank people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's perfect. So, well, thank you, everybody, sincerely tonight. And I agree with you, Wolf. I think he may have a little bit of that label already from some of us, whether he deserves it or not. But I do want him to just get an opportunity to show me if he's good or if he sucks. And if he sucks, he can leave. Honestly, but I just don't think he's had a fair opportunity. And what I see him having the ability to do, I think is Josh Allen-esque. Exactly like you said, Macchiano. That's all I'm asking, Kyle.
Bebop Jones says that offense didn't do shit. Speaking about the Josh Allen Buffalo offense. Now, what we're talking about with the Josh Allen thing is opening up that offense the way Buffalo does for Josh Allen, having the confidence in him to do all the things. Just because they don't get it done doesn't mean that they didn't put it out there for him to do. So that's what I want for Trey Lance.
That's it.
Is open it all up, have the confidence in him. And even if not, man, like we said, if he falls on his face and you opened up the playbook, there's no excuses, man. And then he'll be the backup quarterback. That's something that we've talked about with these quarterbacks where they have to have an understanding that if this is going to be a competition and one of these guys wins, the other guy can't go and request a trade because they lost fair and square. And we need two quarterbacks.
Appreciate that, Bebop.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great point, Wolf.
Well said, Wolf.
Appreciate it.
Wolf, you want to send us out?
Yeah, man. As always, everybody who's tuned in, we really appreciate you guys, my co-hosts as well, or my hosts. I should say I'm the co-host. But either way, man, our panel, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody who supports us and continues to watch. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share it, whatever you guys can do to support us. And don't forget to give your guys' thoughts as well, man. You guys are really good about doing that. So
Please.
we love the conversation that happens between all of us 49ers fans, because it's a 49er talk for 49er fans by 49er fans, man. So it's for all of us. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
Niner
very
ganger
much.
don't bang every day. All 49ers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now we out.